What is going on, everyone? How are you doing? I hope you're doing good, because it is good to feel good. I am currently in Leeds Station right now, and it's a very busy Leeds Station for that matter. And I'm about to catch a connecting train to a place called Keighley, which is in West Yorkshire. And I guess you can tell from the title of this video, we're doing another railway adventure today. So off the back of myself going to Gromont for the North Yorkshire Moors Railway and riding a train pulled by Flying Scotsman a few months ago, I think it's reinvigorated my passion for like anything to do with like railways, trains and all sorts. So yeah, we're making another day adventure out of this. So gotta go catch my train now to Keighley, and I'll see you when we get there. Okay, so we're just now waiting for the next train to arrive. So what I've got today is a really cool ticket that's called a Day Rover, and essentially on this railway line it grants me like unlimited access to like travel on any service that's operating today. So there's steam services running and there's also diesel services running, so we might get a bit of both whilst we go along the line today, so that should be fun. And also the next service to arrive is going to be a steam service. So the idea is I'm going to take that train to the end of the line, which is Oxenhope, and then there's a few stops along the way that I might pop along on. There's obviously Oakworth, which I think I'll mention why I will go there and when we get there. And there's also like museums, so there's museums at Ingro West, so I think we might stop there a little later in the day. We'll see how we get on. But anyway, without further ado, we're just here to wait and just admire the scenery. I tell you what I do like is it genuinely feels like you're walking back in time with all the signage and all sorts. It looks pretty cool. And you know what, if I could get a time machine, not that I have access to one, but I would definitely love to take advantage of like steam railways when they were in their prime and when they're at the peak of like, you know, services and all sorts. I'm really looking forward to today. I'm sure you can probably tell. So this is our steam locomotive for today. This is a London and North Western coal tank with the designation number there of 1054. Now, a bit of trivia about this locomotive is that it was built in Crewe in 1888, was originally in service for 50 years before being withdrawn around 1939. Now, rather ironically, if it wasn't for World War II, this locomotive would likely have been scrapped. So it obviously then went on for a few more decades after that, and then it was then picked up by the Bahamas Locomotive Society, where it now holds a home here on the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway line. Okay, so we've made it to the end of the line here at Oxenhope. We've got a little bit of a while before its return journey back to Keighley, but essentially what the coal tank is going to do is it's going to loop around here, and then obviously points will change and it'll go backwards, and then it will then pull the train from behind. So because obviously there's no turntable here, so yeah, we've got a little bit of downtime before we need to be heading back. But I think the idea is I'm going to make a few stops on this train, then I'm going to change services as well. So I think going back, I want to see Oakworth for obvious reasons, and then I think we're going to also go see the museums that are in Grow West. So we have got a bit of time before we need to get back on this train going back to Keighley, but we've got some time to kill. Let's see what's up. Let's see what we get up to. Okay, so we're just walking through the exhibition shed at the moment. So there's a whole bunch of like locomotives and rolling stock that are stationed here, no pun intended, but of course they'll probably be out and about when it's like gala season and all sorts. So let's see what's about. So this here is what was originally like a buffet car, and then it's now been converted into a nice little tea room. So I think we might just go check and have a little visit. So now the crew have got to obviously make sure the crane is secure and coupled up to the engine, and then we'll be able to then make a move. Okay, so I've decided to alight the train and I'm now here at Oakworth. Now, if you've seen a certain film, you'll know exactly why I'm here. So this is the station that was like the main station setting for 1970s The Railway Children, and honestly, it's one of my favourite films growing up, and I think that also might have inspired like my love of railways and trains when I was younger. And then of course, I only just watched it back recently and I'm just thought to myself, I wonder if I'll bump into Bobby or Phyllis or Peter or even lovely Mr. Perks. Oh, let's go check out the station. Warm in here, nice warm fire, and just it does feel like you're in a time machine and I've gone back in time. Oh, I tell you what's really nice to think about right now is being at the station and talking about the Railway Children is the legacy of Jenny Agutter throughout many adaptations of the Railway Children throughout the years. So of course, in 1968 she was in a BBC TV adaptation where she played Roberta or Bobby, and then in the 1970 film she of course played Bobby again. There was a 2000 adaptation of The Railway Children that was adapted by ITV, where she played the mother of the children. And then in like more of a legacy sequel to 1970s The Railway Children, she appeared in The Railway Children Returns as Bobby once again. So that's quite cool. Also, whilst I'm waiting for my train here, so of course you've got your level crossing, got a signal there. There'll be a train coming along shortly. But I tell you what, like dotted around the fences is like some old school retro logos of like many brands that you probably know today. So just seeing them, like to think I was obviously know them as they are in my day and age, and I would have rarely, if ever, recognized any of those brands from their logos. So that's quite cool. I'm gonna just go onto the other side of the platform as well and show you them. Okay, so we made a stop off at Ingro West. Now there's the rail story here, which is basically there's two museums here that we're going to go and check out. So yeah, that comes free of charge with your day rover ticket if you ever come to this railway line. So let's go and have a little adventure, shall we? So this is a replica of a Stania Class 5 or a Black 5. Now, I'd tell you what's quite interesting is when I was in Gromont a few months ago at the Northern Yorkshire Moors Railway, there's also a Black 5 station there, no pun intended, and it's really nice to hear about them and like, you know, how much they had an impact during their time, like when they were originally in service. And I was also looking up, I think there are now 18 that are still preserved. The vast majority of them were scrapped, but there are 18 that are still preserved on like heritage railways and like locomotive societies and all sorts. So and I do believe there is a Black 5 that is stationed, again no pun intended, on this railway line, but I've not had a chance to see it. So if I do come back here, I probably will see it. Anyway, what we're doing in here is this is like this converted engine shed or goods shed that's now a museum. So you've got a locomotive here called Nunlow, and then you've got another locomotive here called Tiny. Get it? Because it's a very small engine. But then there's all sorts of coats of arms. There's like, you know, banners, signs, and all sorts. So yeah, it feels all nice and lovely. This does. Oh, it just feels like so nice and chill and atmospheric, and definitely see myself going to do some more railway stuff this year. So this museum is known as what's called the Carriage Works. So it's obviously home to a lot of like rolling stock, in particular carriages. So this is a Great Northern Railway carriage, and this is like a third class suite, which I tell you what, to get like, you know, leather seating for like a third class seat, that's not too bad. Let's just view over here at the first class. I mean, it looks more or less the same. So if that was the comparison between third and first class, I wouldn't complain about that. That actually looks pretty decent in there.
Hello.
Oh, that's all here.
Go in and sit down. You're lucky to get a seat. London's no place to be travelling these days. Well, there's so few trains, and what there are packed with folk in uniform. Hey, do you know what they did? They put special blue lights in all the carriages so the German bombers couldn't see us. Can I ask you? Mind you, if there's what they call a red warning, all the lights are switched off by the guard.
So I recognise the green on this livery because this was used for Southern Railway, and I think we can actually get a little view inside the carriage. So this is the Ollie Walker carriage tour, I guess you could say.
I was only this morning just drilling to see the train at full speed, practicals with the countryside, doesn't it? We don't stay in here all the way across the channel, do we? We get off at Dover and catch the ferry boat. Oh, what an adventure! Oh, I am pleased you thought of this for our honeymoon, John.
Aww.
It's so romantic.
Aww. So this is a nice diesel rail bus from 1958. So it's interesting how, as steam locomotives are being phased out, these diesel rail buses started to become the norm. Okay, so we're just, oh, there we go. I was just about to start recording, but that means there's a train coming. So let's get ourselves prepared. Well, Coal Tank, thank you very much for your service today. I guess in the words of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, you've really been a very useful engine. Okay, we've just made it back to Keighley. Before I head home from Keighley, I thought it just only seems nice to see Coal Tank make its final departure. I mean, I think there's another departure later on, but this will be the last time I see it before it departs. So I thought, well, let's catch this. Anyways, it's on its way actually right now. You're thirsty, Coal Tank. I think you need a drink for your next journey. So Coal Tank over there is just prepping itself up for one of the last journeys it's doing today. I thought to myself, it's quite nice and satisfying to just see off the locomotive and then obviously then wait around until my train home. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go set this up in just a few moments. Farewell, Coal Tank. Until the next time. I'm sure we'll be reunited again someday. We'll meet again. No, I'm not going to jump into that. Anyway, I'm going to go wait around now until my train back from Keighley. But it's been lovely today. Alright, just about to catch the train back to Leeds. I tell you what, just quickly before I get on there, noticing the contrast between like a modern mainline station and a heritage railway station. It's a little bit like Gromont, where obviously it connects the Esk Valley line to the North Yorkshire Moors Railway. So anyway, let's go to Leeds. Okay, I've just got off the train at Leeds at the moment. In fact, I think I'm just walking more or less right by where we started vlogging this morning. Anyway, I'm just going to catch my train now back to Middlesbrough. It's on the other side of the station, so of course it is. But yeah, I guess we could do a bit of makeshift train spotting whilst we're here. Let's see what we can make of this. Okay, that's enough of trains today. Now it's time to head home. And just like that, I am home, and I am tired, but I have had a lovely day out nonetheless. It has been very wonderful, it has, and very interesting to go ahead and visit the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway. I know I've obviously heard about it, and I think off the back of me going to Gromont for the North Yorkshire Moors Railway a few months ago, it made me think to myself, actually, I want to continue doing this and, you know, getting to see all the various heritage railways that are in this country. Maybe even on my travels, if I did go see other railways as well, that would be pretty cool. I tell you one thing that I forgot to talk about. When I was coming out of Ingro West, I was about to start filming, and then of course the coal tank came along with that last train, and I thought to myself, I can't really film it there. So what I did was I picked this up when I was in one of the museums, and it's when, like, people will donate books and all sorts to, like, museums and exhibits, and then, like, you know, to kind of sell them off, they'll then, like, you know, make them like £1 or something. So this book was originally £30 when it was first published by the Times back, I think, 2012, and I got it for £1. So very good stuff, that is, and very, you know, nice to see, like, nostalgic books and all sorts, because it basically covers, like, you know, all, like, some of the best scenic railways in this country, and there's definitely quite a few that I think I'll go ahead and visit, you know, as we go along. But yeah, I've had a lovely day out nonetheless, and I think as, you know, we go along and I do more railway adventures, I think one thing I would like to do at some point this year is go to like a big gala where, like, all sorts of engines are there, steam locomotives, diesels, all sorts. So I think that'll definitely be on the agenda for some point in 2026 and beyond. So look forward to that when we do one. But anyway, I'm going to go sign off here. It has been a lovely day again, once again, at the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway, and I will leave you with some advice, and that is always to enjoy yourself, stay safe, and make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. Thank you for watching, and peace.